Welcome back to Cataclysm, Dark Days Ahead, the Forge of Wonders, a home of magic and learning. Kind of like Harry Potter, but cooler. After the overwhelming majority of people have voted on getting Windrunning, we went ahead and picked it up. We put it into our archive and learned it. What it does is whenever we cast it on ourselves, we will be gaining a Windrunning buff. It gives us plus 20 speed, and it's going to give us a significant stamina recovery. I do think that the speed and the duration go up as I level it, but I don't think the stamina recovery does. It's kind of hard to tell because Magicalism doesn't exactly have a good spell spoiler thing. We are going to be heading over to the Goblin encampment then, and I will meet you guys there. One thing I do want to point out though is that there is a feature that's actually, I believe, not bound by default. Right here it says toggle auto travel mode. If you bind this and turn it on, now whenever I'm moving through the forest, I'm going to automatically step away from trees, which makes moving through forests a lot easier. You just don't want to leave it on all the time because otherwise you're going to be moving very inaccurately. You can also press Shift W on the map and then Shift W again to travel to a point far away. And the last note is that the overworld travel there does automatically use your safe mode settings that you have set up. As Aiden gets some eyes on this encampment, we are seeing that there's some sort of rammed earth wall around it. So we're going to try and figure out where the entrance of this is. There is only one entrance, it looks like. Ooh, magenta sauropod juveniles and a zombie cop. If those survive the nearby zombies, that might actually be a good source of food. It does look like there is quite a few zombies fighting them though. So currently they're alive, but they might not survive for long. They're far enough away that I'm not too worried about it. We're going to come up here and grab this gate pulley and open the main gate. And let's take a look at what we have here. Oh, that's actually a lot already. 3 of the goblin warriors can see us, and the rest kind of can't. But we already see Denarius on the ground. Yeah. And a gallon tank. And there's already a bunch of stuff in here that we want. This is going to be a pretty profitable excursion if Aiden can get a lot of this done. We're going to go ahead and put Windrunning on us, minute 25, and let them kind of come in. Oop, and we accidentally shoved that guy too far. Shoved that guy back into the wall using our new increased stamina. Oh, we actually can find the body. It's inside a wall, but it is there. I wonder if those scrap helmets are worth anything. As Aiden just clears out a lot of them very quickly. And then one of these guys did actually manage to get in on us because I wasn't paying attention. As Aiden just with the power of the magically increased stamina, we kind of just took all of those guys out pretty much immediately. Without really much need for worrying about our stamina almost at all. Let's see. The slingers are going to be slightly a problem. We're going to actually run back out, cast Windrunning on ourselves again, which we are losing concentration on. We need to probably level that up in between fights. We have a 50% chance of failure right now. The slingers are going to manage to get some damage off on me. I want to draw these guys back. Shove that guy against the wall. The goblins don't have much HP, so they're just kind of getting immediately destroyed. We're also pretty fast though, so despite the fact that we're also very fast, we are not outspeeding them right now. But we're definitely out damaging them as Aiden is just ripping them to shreds with his psionic abilities. It's kind of a massacre, to be honest. I think that one survived. Yes, he did. I'll back up a little bit. Already have most of our stamina back that we spent. Is that a chieftain? Yeah, that's why he's surviving. Okay, but he's down now. And chieftain might actually have something nice. No, he still only has scrap cross. We're going to wait specifically to get our health back. Seems like there is a goblin warrior. Send him backwards, immediately killing him. Cast Windrunning again. It's an incredibly cheap spell for how powerful it is. And the 20%, the 20 extra speed also means that it's kind of making our abilities in general not as costly. The speed is kind of a unique and interesting stat in this game. It's a little hard to explain how it works. There's entire tutorials on it, and if I explain it, I can almost guarantee that I'm going to get it wrong. Aiden feels very little to no remorse about this absolute massacre, though, because, I mean, he's read Goblin Slayer. He knows how awful goblins are. So awful that it's not even worth, like, talking about out loud, because it's truly, truly disgusting little creatures. And Aiden kind of just immediately assumes that these goblins that he's finding out here are more or less the same as what he's read about in fiction. I'll eat all these guys back. Oh, it's because when running wore off. Okay. Let's see. It costs 104 moves. Should be able to get it. Yeah. Managed to get it off before they got to us. Take down the warrior. Send this guy back. Gives us time to get our stamina back. Take him down. We got a few hits off on us. That's not the worst thing in the world. Re-up our buff. It's probably going to level really fast with how much we're going to be using it. It is pretty much a very dominant strategy to be casting Wind Running as often as possible. We want to lead just a few of these out here. If we had to melee all these guys, it would have been a completely different affair. Man, they just keep giving us scrap stuff. I know that it's possible for them to give us other stuff. Like, the chieftains often have more interesting items, and I'm not sure why. I'm just kind of getting bad luck here, I guess. Aiden sort of reminds himself of Akira here now, as he is just annihilating these things with the force of his mind, barely even putting any effort into this. Looks like we aggroed a few more. Man, look at this carnage already. It's still 10:30 in the morning, and we've killed so many. Shooting rocks at us, but mostly deflecting. As soon as I say that, of course, they managed to get a bleeding wound off on us, but the repair nanites take care of it. I'm surprised we haven't got any nether attunement yet, as we are shoving them time and time and time again. And there we go. Quarterstaff +1. That is a great example of the kinds of things that we can get from these guys, as we're going to move that into a square where we can see that in the future, because we don't really have the ability to pick it up right now. We have 95 mana left, enough for just a few more wind runnings. Honestly, this guy we can just take down. Our crash axe. I'm going to probably stop mentioning all the times that we cast wind running. Pretty much just assume, are we starting a fight? Yes. Okay, we cast wind running. Do we have any nether attunement yet? No. Also, I apparently seem to have failed my wind running. Continuously failing it. Oh, because we're in pain. That's why. We need to wait a moment. Yeah, the pain and focus is going to be, again, just pain in general is going to be our worst enemy in this run. Far worse than anything else. Pickaxe +1. Okay. Pull that out so we can see it in the future. We saw a message in our dialogue there that Aiden felt like someone was watching us, which I think is part of nether attunement. And as I warned, nether attunement is going to be more of a problem than stamina is. Looks like there is a way up there. A few more goblin warriors. Send that one flying. You need to reposition around this one. Kind of just keeping an eye on my statuses, as I don't want to get nether attunement too high. Nether attunement actually has this property to it where, wow, too heavy to pick up? Oh, yeah, we're actually overloaded. Oh, it's probably because of all this food. Yeah, might as well eat a bunch. We have spent a ton of calories. None of that's very useful to us. We'll take the denarius, though. There's so many denarius here, just on the ground, let alone the stuff that we're going to be gaining from the fights here. As Aiden's moving through these goblins, just absolutely massacring them, he does kind of consider this to have been a sort of an act of heroism. It may look like a massacre, but he's saving the world from goblins. Goblins are awful creatures. Just as bad, if not worse, than the zombies that plagued this land. Potassium iodine might be something useful. course, we'll pick up every denarius we come across. Apparently, there are 9 denarius around here. That's wild. 9 times 25, you can do the math. We definitely made a good decision to come over here and raid this goblin camp. They likely have raided other magical encampments in the past. Okay, we don't have a wall for this guy. That's a goblin warrior. So we're gonna run backwards a little bit here. Kind of move between running and not running. And turn around, get this guy up against the wall, and crush him against that back wall. Catch your breath to make sure that we're not over at spending. We'll definitely be able to buy something nice after all this. Although we are out of mana now. Kill that chieftain. Ooh, that's scary. Go ahead and kill 2 of them right away. The last several are kind of in a bad position here. So we're actually going to back up. I think they can climb ladders, so we're not going to do that. But I do want to get around this wall here. Start slowing down. Let some of my stamina recover with wind running here. Let them get up to me. Shove him backwards. Wait until he's not standing on the corpses. There we go. The sheer amount more that we've been able to force push now that we have the stamina recovery is pretty nice. However, we are out of mana now. We might have to be close to done soon. Or at least just fight more cautiously now. Nothing on these last few. Make sure that we cover stamina in between the fights here. Let's see, we have the quarterstaff on the ground, and then the rest is just scrap arm cards. Because we're in moderate pain, I'm actually going to wait for 5 minutes here. It'll also get us the mana back. We have burned a ton of calories today. I can't even imagine how many calories we've eaten, we've burned through today. Let's head back to this little shack where we ran into all of these guys. Looks like there's this goblin chieftain here. Trying to wind run ourselves and get around him. And grind him into his own tent. Doesn't really look like there's much in here. Looks like this was their sleeping quarters. There's a momentary tinge that Aiden feels, realizing that he just ambushed a bunch of creatures in their sleeping quarters and wiped them out. But it was during the day, so it wasn't like he attacked them in their sleep. Ooh, what's that? A scribbled scroll of Cloak of Frog. Well, it is a Stormshaper scroll, so we can store that and read it later. There's also a standpipe maintenance log. I guess we'll store that. I don't know where it is, though. And we'll sell the scrolls to the librarian. She likes magical scrolls quite a bit. Already got some more denarius. Why do they have so many potassium iodine? I wonder if it just like looks like candy to them because they're kind of blue, right? Let's just check. How many denarius? We were at 9 a moment ago. We've gone 10 denarius. So that's 250 usable currency against from this. And we haven't even finished clearing the place out yet. There's normally a little bit more inside here as well. We'll go ahead and use Night Eyes, and we'll do a circuit around the inside of their little fortress here, because the goblins don't really like sunlight very much. They have very good night vision, so they tend to have most of their living quarters inside here. But it seems like we've killed most of them. We only got 2 magic weapons, which is not the best, but it's not bad either. I don't think any of this scrapped armor is going to be any better than our current armor, so I don't think it's going to be worth bringing with us. We might grab like 1 scrap cuirass or something like that and just see how expensive it is. See if it's worth selling. Oh, there is a goblin slinger here. Go ahead and take him out. Only takes 1 force push. And that looks like that's everything. We'll use the search feature real quick to make sure that there's no other denarius laying on the ground. And we're going to have to see about how to pick up these items on our way out. Our lifting field's currently empty, so if I turn off the whitelist on the lifting field, we should be able to pick some stuff up. I think, the issue isn't length or weight right now. I think it's physical poundage because we have like the arc welder and some other stuff on us. So I'm going to wait here until we get back up to 9 strength, and then I should be able to pick this up. Now the quarterstaff is going to be a different matter. If I wield it and put away my other thing, we are overweight because of that. Oh, we're actually not overweight. Wow. We're going to go ahead and mark this as complete because we, honestly, wiped them out. And we will use the auto walk to get back home. No, we're not. The auto walk is going to take me through town. I don't want that. So we'll go here, and this zombie runner, we lead it to us. We should probably be able to take it out. Yep, there we go. We just need to get it in line with a tree. Just as a quick indication of how powerful the wind running is, 2 pushes cost me like about a fifth of my stamina, but with wind running, I was doing 10 to 15 pushes before my stamina was running out. And it's a pretty big difference, to be honest. And it's only going to get better as my abilities get better, too. Try and cast wind running on ourselves here, because we're going to run out of stamina otherwise. And crush them against the tree. Well, people were asking for a powerful Aiden. And I will say, you've gotten it. This is Aiden as a powerful thing. There's a Walter CCP. I don't really know what that is. It's a gas-delayed semi-automatic pistol. Okay. We're going to take the bullets because someone has recommended to me wisely that taking spare bullets doesn't cost a lot of weight, but is useful because we can deconstruct them to make bullets that we care about in the future. Actually, that's a good point. How much do these weigh? That entire pile weighs 0.4 pounds. So not really that big of a deal. We are back. We're going to turn on safe mode because I don't want to accidentally walk into a forge worker, and head over to the librarian and sell our stuff and see if there's anything that we can afford. We're going to need about 500 or so in order to be able to afford anything that I still want. And then it's about 2,000 after that to afford the next thing. It might be a moment before we can afford everything we want. We'll go ahead and sell the pickaxe for 25, sell the scribble scroll for 26, and the quarterstaff for 19. On top of that, I'm just going to hit my denarii real quick. So we have 686 right now. Hell yes. We're going to look for dinar and press F1 to trade for some denarii. And the scrap arm guards are worth 3. Interesting. There was a lot of scrap stuff. It would take me a ton of trips to get all of it. But we could technically just go and get all of that scrap stuff from that area over there and sell it. But I'm not sure if it's worth our time at the end of the day. That's kind of the big issue there, is that we would be spending a huge amount of time getting all of that stuff. I also just found out that we can sell the fruits that we've been picking outside to her. Kind of a nice deal. So where are we sitting now? We have 28 denarii. That's, I believe, exactly 700. Let's go check to see if there's a better weapon that we can get. I do know it's 2,000 for a Ring of Strength, which, honestly, the Ring of Strength would be the best possible thing we could get, but it's so far away that I think I would rather get a weapon first. I know Gions have a high blocking ability, and they're pretty strong, and it has a +2 to hit as well. Yeah, I just looked through all of the weapons, and I think the Gion doing 40 damage with a +2 to hit with fairly low base moves per attack. While we have wind running, we'll have 120 move or 120 speed, so that move will be less than a turn for us. It's complicated how that works. If you want to know, look it up, because again, I'm going to get it wrong if I talk about it, and then, you know, someone's probably going to correct me, or if someone wants to just put into the chat how it works, if you do know and you accurately know, go ahead. It's move speed plus move cost is fairly complicated, but with a Gion, the only thing we're going to want now is I think if it's a full scabbard, yeah, we need a full scabbard in order to be able to store that very easily. Otherwise, we'll probably store it in our lifting field for now. And I was also told to bring poetry to Valzane. Poetry and stories. So we'll have to try that. I've never actually tried bringing that to him. Let's see. Arena strength is 2,000. So it's only a +1, but the +3 is 8,000. So we're going to be looking for... We'll go ahead and accept this trade. We're going to be looking for some Ring of Strength. And the Gion automatically went into our lifting field, which is very nice to see. Also, those... bullets I actually just noticed were the correct size. I didn't even notice that we had bullets for our H&K. Our H&K is fairly well damaged, though. We do have a gun repair kit at home. We can attempt to try and repair it. Actually, no, I don't think we do have a firearm repair kit because we didn't have enough stuff. Yeah, the firearm repair kit requires a lot of things. Although we have the portable soldering iron now, which is kind of one of the harder things in there. The metalwork chisel is also kind of difficult. Can we make pipe cleaner? Because I also remember we ran into that. Pipe cleaner. We just recently got it. So pipe cleaner is pretty easy to make, just takes copper wires. Okay, we have 177 money left, but outside of the goblin encampment here, I don't see another place where we can get a lot of money fast without, you know, moving through these things. So I do think that we're going to move south, and I got a recommendation that this freshwater research station is an incredible base location. So I'm super curious about that. I think we're going to move back to our raft and go check that out. And we'll just keep in mind that there's 2,000 denarii worth of stuff that we want to get from this base. As we were leaving, I noticed that there are fish over here in the water, and they're little, they have this like stream that comes out of the forge area because they have lava forges in here, which is incredibly metal. Not right now, but ideally later we could, I mean, we have plenty of food right now. We have all these strawberries. We could actually use this place between the fish and the you know, infinite source of fresh water. We actually could use this place as a temporary outpost or base. I mean, it is basically completely safe, right? And we would be very heavily guarded. And it would not be like a base. We're not going to like build around it or anything like that, because I would actually get annoyed by all the Forgeborn constantly triggering our safe mode. But it would be nice, and Aiden kind of thinks about it for a moment as just like, just kind of a thing to keep in the back of his mind. I'm sorry, a what? We see a leprechaun. Mischievous shoemakers who wear green and love pulling pranks on mortals. It is hostile to us. I wonder if we kill it if we get something. Is it faster than us? Is that what's happening here? It is much faster than us. Well, let's see about that. Let's cast Wind Running on ourselves. Oh, we don't have enough mana to cast Wind Running. Is it so faster than us when we're running? Slower. Okay, let's see if we can catch it. What? Oh, it stepped there. Actually, we can do Far Hand here, right? To pull him back towards us. And the deal here is to catch him at an angle where we can shove him against... Oh, actually, we can shove him against a tree there. And we kill him. I mean, he was hostile to us, right? He didn't have any weapons on him or anything. We also see a giant aphid, a green aphid the size of a rabbit, is constantly searching for plants to suck from. I don't think those are hostile. But there are some honeydews on the ground here. Is that just an edible honeydew? It is. As Aiden is now taken to eating food off the ground. We don't eat it because I think it's huge. And we are going to keep an eye on our calories as well, because we spent a lot today. Hit this plum tree, and we might actually hit a few more things just to make sure that we have plenty of food with us. We really need to figure out a way to offload some of this weight. Ideally, in the future, we need to upgrade our raft to have a lot more carrying capacity. Because as it stands, yeah, this folding wooden box here, this folding wooden box is basically completely full. Can we guarantee that we put it in the box? So if we use the advanced menu here, it looks like we can definitely do that. It is at 28.8, so we need something one volume or lower that we can put in there, which I guess at the end of the day is not going to help us too much anyways. I forgot to sell the potassium iodine. We definitely need to get rid of the welding wire. We could put another folding wooden box on the other side. What would it take to add another box? Let's just go ahead and say box. We'll take a wooden frame and some nails, or one steel frame. I don't think we can make a steel frame. Yeah, steel frame is like a whole thing. A wooden frame would just be nails and planks, though. We'll keep that in mind. But for now, Aiden is going to take control of the raft again and move out. We are going to be heading basically directly south. And once again, I apologize, but we're going to have to be moving at max distance. To be honest, I'm probably going to just pass most of this journey, unless something interesting happens. But just to let you guys know where we're going to be heading direct south to this freshwater research location. As we are approaching, we see some interesting messages, as an amphibious truck, some wood cabin cruisers, and another amphibious truck appears to have sank. I'm not sure what's going on there. Okay, we're close enough now that Aiden can see the location. We do see some floating docks, porthole. Ooh, guys, we found a motorboat. Let's see. There's some leaking hulls. Ah, the controls are destroyed. That is no hope for you. But there is a trunk there. We might be able to just pull the trunk off. There's a bicycle alternator. That's interesting. We might be able to pull some of the stuff off of this and add it to our raft. We'll slow down and we'll park. Okay, we'll go ahead and stop driving. Pull out our new Xian and check this place out. So we have a porthole. We have a portable generator that's just completely destroyed. Bulkhead door, another portable generator. Can we open this door? We can. How were we able to see inside? Oh, because of the portholes. Okay. Okay, let's see something real quick. So if we were to attempt to remove this trunk here, we'd have an 80% chance to damage it. Is that what that means? We would also need metal sawing and bolt turning to take it off. I will say that this boat floats, but we can't repair the controls. It's actually, I don't need to actually be on it to do this. Let's see. What would we need to repair the controls? We need nuts and bolts and a vehicle controls. Okay. Which, I mean, there's a chance that we could pull it off of something else and we'd have an actual motorboat. It's really appealing. We were already talking about building something like this. Let's see, what's on top? Some satellite dishes, turbines, a TV antenna. What we're going to do is we're actually going to use premonition here and look down. Okay, we don't see anything at the bottom of the stairs. We'll do it again. Oh, okay, there's something here. There's some food here. Because we have a potential target, we're going to cast wind running on ourselves. Once we fail the concentration check. Oh, it's too difficult right now. Oh, our focus is too low. I tried to get my focus up for a moment there, but we're actually kind of struggling to do so. So we're just going to not worry about that. We'll activate Night Eyes here. And to be honest, activate Premonition as well. Okay, there was definitely something here a moment ago. See some socket wrenches, submerged water. Man, an underwater base is kind of an interesting idea. Some bulkheads. Okay, there's definitely things below us. Some bottle openers, mesh colanders. A hot plate. You know, I was thinking about an oceanic base. This is actually a pretty interesting idea. Although I will say that moving onto each bulkhead is slow. I don't know why they're slow. It's the bottom of a submerged structure, and apparently it's very slow to move onto. It's kind of strange, to be honest. But an underwater base would kind of be a very interesting idea. Okay, so there's a creature there, and there's a creature at the bottom of the stairs. They immediately swung at us. This is one of those times where I wish I had a spear. We don't know where we're pushing them back to, but we do hurl them into the darkness here. Oh, you know what? I just realized why our Night Eyes wasn't working. We accidentally had our tablet on because I was reading about wind running. The sound of movement every single time we take a step, because it's counting as like moving over an obstacle, is a little annoying. There's a pool of water. I think that pool of water just leads immediately in a shark suit. It's a massive amount of encumbrance, 15 on the feet and head, and 20 on the arms, legs, and torso. However, it is a lot of protection for each spot. That's kind of interesting. And it fits us, and it actually would go under armor. That's kind of wild. Swimming gloves, wetsuit hood. We're going to take that wetsuit hood because we can disassemble it to try and fix our wetsuit hood and make it a better fit. What are those out there? Oh, those are the pylons for the dock. Okay. I'm worried that this is an airlock. I'm looking at it and I'm like, this might be an airlock. If we open this, we might die? Okay, we're just not going to question that. Air compressor down here. There's no scuba tanks. It's a little unfortunate. The only downfall of a base like this would be the fact that every time we move, we would hear that awful moving sound. And there's not a lot of room for, what's it called? Solar panels either. It's kind of a point as well. Well, we're definitely going to have to keep this in mind as a possible base location. It'd be a very interesting base location. I'll definitely have to keep this in mind. Ski mask. Nothing else super useful here, other than the base itself, to be honest. With that, I do think we are going to move off, take control of the raft again. And the next location I want to check is this unexplored island here. We've learned that whenever the islands are unexplored like that, it means that there was a point of interest that the satellite mapping thing wasn't able to pick up. It's going to be a little bit of a long journey, so once again, I will meet you guys when we get there. As we approach the island, we did unfortunately just find out that it is mostly just swampland. So with that, I think we're going to start moving south, and the last island we'll check before getting to the Edzodi themselves is this one with cabins, because that also might be a good place to settle. It'll already have beds in it, and it should have shelter, and it's on a relatively small island. But the other thing that I like about it is that, similar to Aiden's apartment complex, there's going to be a lot of materials we can scavenge from the cabins in order to set up stuff. We can also possibly expand our boat, add another box to it, and maybe even add more space to it as well. We're going to be on the lookout for controls, because I'd very much like to repair that motorboat back there. And I think we've gotten some tips from the comments about ways that we can improve one. We could probably put an electric motor on one and then put solar panels on it, and it would act as a fairly replenishable form of transportation across the water here. Aiden is still seeing a lot of zombie dinosaurs out here, but with the raft, it's honestly, they're really not a threat. Traveling via the lake here is going to be a very good way of getting around in general. And if we can get even faster, then honestly traveling via water in general, maybe even down rivers, might be a dominant strategy for us to be able to get around. So if we can get a motorboat up and running, that seems like a really good idea, at least in the short term. It would allow us to get around our local area much quicker, especially since the Forge of Wonders is so far away from other things that we care about. We have the Forge of Wonders all the way up here, which is almost half a day's travel, and then the Edzodi all the way down here. Okay, we have come up to the island, but as we came up, there's a bunch of muskrats here. What's a muskrat? Omnivorous rodent with thick furry pelts found in wetlands across the northern hemisphere? Okay. I don't think I've ever heard of a muskrat. That must be a real thing. Some ducks as well. There were some zombies nearby as we were coming up. Make sure that we can leave in a hurry if we need to. Go ahead and pull out our Xion again before we explore this place. Because, as I was just about to say, there could be zombies. And there, in fact, are zombies. What is that? Oh, a butcher rack. Oh, that's really nice. And there's a charcoal kiln and some smoking racks. Oh, this is really nice, guys. There is, in fact, a Siats, though. I wonder if the zombies are fighting it. They are. Okay, we might join into this fight. Okay. There is a lot of chaos happening here. There's an Apatosaurus, a living one. Several other Apatosauruses over here. A Siats there. Here's the thing, though. Like, most of these are still alive. So if we join in, we may be able to help out. I don't have wind running right now. Kind of want to fire at them with my gun, but I'm worried I'm going to hit the dinosaurs. And if we do hit any dinosaurs, we want to crush down the bodies or butcher them. We pretty much only need to butcher one body. I mean, there is literally a charcoal kiln right here. We could just put all of the meats that we get onto the smoking rack. And there's a full cabin over here. Yeah, we really need to clear this place out as Aiden looks at this and just thinks about the fact that this... Oh, there's even a canoe here. A better canoe. There's a better canoe here. Wait, the seats have volume? Did I miss this? Interesting. We could probably grab the stuff from our canoe and add it to that one. Kind of cannibalize it. This island, though, we're going to need to clear it out. And this is going to be... Oh, there's some scary stuff in the distance. A Ceratosaurus zombie. This is going to be a challenge to clear this place out. We want to make sure that any of the herbivore dinosaurs, these guys, stay alive. And any that die, we crush down. Because we don't want them to be dinosaur, or don't want them to be zombies. And then maybe one that dies or so, we will grab all the meat from it. And if we get dinosaur meat, a huge chunk of it, and we can get this charcoal kill running before the dinosaur meat turns bad, we could get a lot of good things going there. I mean, we have water, we have food. If we have a raft, we have a way off the island. And we are very close. Very, very close to the Edzodi. Aiden looks at this and just knows that this would be a beautiful, beautiful place to set up for the long term. There's a lot of space here. There's some base resources, and there's enough trees that we could build a lot of what we need as well, on top of the fact that we already have a bunch of resources available to us. All we would need to do is get a bunch of cargo containers and bring all of our resources from our apartment to here. But with that, we're going to have to end here because this is going to be a mess, and this is going to take a long time to clear out. So we have a little bit of a cliffhanger for next time. If you guys have enjoyed the episode, please feel free to leave a like and a comment, and subscribe for more Cataclysm and hard games. Goodbye.